Alright everyone, this is a little bit of a off-topic video, but this is just a little video for future me to remember how I did this so I don't forget it and then have to go through the little mini nightmare of fixing tap dancing shoes. So if you're using tap dancing shoes and you stand like this a lot, sometimes the little plate likes to wiggle the rivets out if they're cheaply put in. And I found a little hack. I was looking around for my farrier anvil and I couldn't find the farrier anvil anywhere, and I was like, how am I going to repair my shoes without a farrier? Oh my goodness, I just found it. Oh, it's so annoying. I just spent ages using a wrench and a engineering hammer to smack this shoe back together, and now the farrier anvil just comes into my field of view. That's a massive waste of my effort. I could have saved so much time. Anyway, what I did was I went ahead and I got some flathead hot dip galvanized nails. This is just so that they don't go rusty, because if you use regular nails, they will just sort of rust on you. And I'm pretty sure these plates are aluminium, so they don't rust, and I kind of don't want the rest to rust either. Anyway, the way that I fixed the shoes, because this thing was flapping around like anything, it was just flopping around, it was going up and down, not good. So I needed to reattach it, so I went ahead and I got two of these little galvanized nails and I put them inside the hole. I might actually just jam a third one in there now, just to sort of show you, now that my farrier anvil comes... Dang it, I dropped the nail. I got the farrier anvil now, so this should make it a little easier. Just go ahead and put this thing on the anvil. If you don't have an anvil, I've found that a great hack, if you don't have a farrier anvil, is to just find anything metal that will fit in the shoe. I used this wrench. I know that you're not supposed to use a vanadium chromium wrench in order to make up a little fake farrier anvil, but I did and it worked. Anyway, you take this thing, I'm going to just put it on the ground so that we've got better grounding, otherwise the shock's going to go everywhere. Take the little nail, and you got to make sure that the nail isn't too long, and if it is too long you have to drive it in at a diagonal angle so that it's not going to poke your little toes when it's done. And we just put this guy on there, and then we're going to take our engineering ball peen hammer. Ideally you'd have like a specialized little flat hammer, which I do, but I just can't be bothered going all the way over to the other side of the garage. And we're just going to hammer this little guy in. I'm borrowing this box so I don't have to get the camera stand. You go ahead, you just 1 foot on the farrier anvil, and we're just going to knock this little galvanized nail in at a diagonal, and we don't have to get it all the way in, we just need enough that it's sort of jammed in the thing there, and it's got some sort of a wedge effect holding the thing in. Now it's not perfect, and it's definitely going to come out not perfect, but we don't want to drive this nail all the way in, because as you can see I don't have the right size nail. This nail would go all the way into your toe if we drove it all the way in. So instead, I bend it over halfway in. I hammer it as flat as I can possibly get it. 1 second. But not too much, because we don't want to start cracking the aluminium plate. And then we take this little shoe over to our bench grinder. You can use a file if you're really patient, you don't have a bench grinder or an angle grinder. Any grinder will do. And we just bring the shoe over, and we're going to grind it down flat so that it doesn't dig into the floor. It is going to get red hot. Alright, now once we have grinded off the nail, we should be left with a nice little flat shoe surface. We might get a tab that we've got to sort of wiggle off. If that happens, you just got to grind it off all the way. Oh. Basically, we don't want to make a sharp point that's going to gouge into the floor, but we also don't want the shoe to just fall out. So it took me 3 nails to get in there, and it's not perfect. Obviously, if you wanted it perfectly flush, you would probably ball peen hammer it in to get a nice little finish, maybe with like a hole punch or something, and then you'd grind it all off flat. You might even be tempted to use a welder. Probably not a big arc welder, or if you are going to use the arc welder, you're probably going to want to just do like one pulse and then level it off flat. I'm not particularly worried about like semi-damaging this, or not damaging it, but about fixing the rivet in, because I see here there's screws on the thing, but the whole thing doesn't have screws. Some of these are just riveted in, and they only come out if you're going to lever them off, so it just sort of fits them now. And it won't necessarily be perfect. As you can see when I'm flicking this with my thumb, you can sort of feel a little bit of a scratch. You don't want it to catch on anything, so you're just going to want to keep hammering it, reflattening it, and then grinding it down, or maybe just using a file on it. But this is, while it is a little bit scratchy, it's not too bad. It's good enough. And we can do the test when we rub it on the floor. We get a piece of wood and we see if it leaves any scratch marks. So long as it's not leaving any significant scratch marks, it's good enough to go. And that's how I fix tap dancing shoes. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.